They look like ordinary politicians shaking hands in crowded summits, but behind the scenes, they move like characters out of a spy thriller. From convoys designed to vanish into thin air, to palaces rigged with underground tunnels, Europe's most powerful leaders don't just travel. They survive inside worlds of paranoia, surveillance, and steel. Stay with us until the end, because one of these leaders guards a secret security ritual so bizarre, it might change the way you think about power forever. Today, we peel back the curtain on the hidden fortresses, armored convoys, and invisible guardians that shield Europe's most influential figures. Emmanuel Macron, the president behind the glass curtain. He doesn't just lead France, he embodies its resilience. But Emmanuel Macron also lives behind an invisible wall of steel, glass, and intelligence. Imagine the streets of Paris suddenly sealed off. Traffic lights freeze, metro stations close, rooftops bristle with snipers. In the middle of this silence, Macron's motorcade glides forward, a fleet of armored Citroëns and Peugeots engineered to withstand military-grade firepower. At its center is his DS-7 Crossback Élysée, a custom-built fortress on wheels with reinforced armor, bulletproof glass, and encrypted communication systems capable of linking him directly to France's nuclear command. His security detail, known as the GSPR, Groupe de Sécurité de la Présidence de la République, is more than bodyguards. It's a 60-man unit blending elite gendarmes and intelligence officers trained in counterterrorism, cyber surveillance, and rapid evacuation tactics. Each movement is rehearsed like choreography. Decoy vehicles, sudden route changes, and even staged civilian vehicles equipped with surveillance gear. Inside the Élysée Palace, Macron is shielded by layers of invisible technology. Anti-drone jammers hum above the gardens. Underground bunkers connect the palace to secret exits, and his office is encased in soundproof walls to prevent eavesdropping. His public dinners are meticulously planned, food tested, dishes sterilized, and chefs vetted for loyalty stretching back generations. But Macron's security isn't just about physical safety, it's about symbolism. After the 2018 Yellow Vest protests, when angry demonstrators stormed close to his residence, France doubled down on his protective systems. The message was clear. He may be accessible as a leader of the people, but he will never again be vulnerable to the chaos of the crowd. This comes at a cost. France spends an estimated 10 to 15 million euros annually on presidential security, even as ordinary citizens complain about rising living costs. It's a paradox that raises questions. Is the president safer than ever, or more isolated than the people he claims to represent? Giorgia Meloni, the iron-willed guardian of Italy. She doesn't just govern Italy, she projects the image of a survivor who turned herself into a fortress. Giorgia Meloni, Italy's first female prime minister, has wrapped her life in a cocoon of vigilance and symbolism. Picture this: the narrow streets of Rome suddenly lined with carabinieri vans, helicopters buzzing overhead, sharpshooters scanning balconies. Then, without warning, her convoy of armored Alfa Romeos accelerates through the Eternal City, escorted by motorcycle outriders who close intersections with military precision. Each vehicle is fitted with reinforced steel, explosion-resistant undercarriages, and bulletproof glass thick enough to stop an anti-tank round. Her personal detail comes from the Digos, Italy's elite counterterrorism and intelligence branch, supplemented by the Carabinieri's GIS commandos. They specialize in urban warfare, rapid extraction, and counter-assault. Meloni's movements are deliberately unpredictable. Last-minute schedule changes, decoy convoys, and armored vehicles swapped at the very last moment. Her residence, Palazzo Chigi, is more than a seat of government. It's a stronghold. Beneath its Renaissance walls lie secure bunkers and secret passageways dating back centuries, modernized with electronic surveillance, biometric locks, and NATO standard communication lines. Reports suggest that new anti-drone systems have been installed after recent threats, ensuring no airborne strike can get close. Psychologically, Meloni's security is a performance. After years of political battles and violent threats from extremist groups, she projects resilience by moving visibly yet untouchably. Italians see her shake hands in crowded piazzas, but few realize that each handshake is calculated, each moment rehearsed, each risk assessed by invisible guardians circling the perimeter. It doesn't come cheap. Italian taxpayers reportedly fund more than 8 million euros annually to shield her from threats both domestic and foreign. In a nation still struggling with unemployment and public debt, that number sparks debate. Is this protection a necessity, or is it another sign of the widening gap between leader and citizen? Which leader so far feels more like a prisoner of their own security, Macron or Meloni? Volodymyr Zelenskyy, the president in the crosshairs. He doesn't just lead Ukraine, he lives as its most hunted man. For Volodymyr Zelenskyy, security is not luxury, it's survival on the front line of a brutal war. Since the first Russian missiles struck Kiev, his world has transformed into a moving fortress. He no longer spends 2 nights in the same location. Some days he's seen in a war bunker beneath Bankova Street, the next in an undisclosed village meeting troops, and sometimes aboard trains that vanish into the Ukrainian countryside. His personal guard is a hybrid of Ukraine's elite SBU Alpha unit, British SAS veterans, and rotating NATO advisors. They manage everything from encrypted satellite communications to decoy convoys designed to trick enemy drones. His motorcade, when deployed, consists of armored SUVs valued at over $150,000 each, equipped with drone jamming systems capable of silencing enemy surveillance over entire city blocks. Unlike most leaders, Zelenskyy rejects extravagance. His palace is often a reinforced basement. His luxury is a briefing table lit by flashlights. Yet the symbolism is powerful. While Putin hides in nuclear bunkers, Zelenskyy's security makes him both visible and untouchable, a leader who can walk among soldiers without ever being in one place long enough to be targeted. American intelligence has confirmed that Zelenskyy has survived at least a dozen assassination attempts since the war began, each one foiled by a combination of technology, intelligence leaks, and sheer unpredictability. His food is tested, his water is filtered, his inner circle constantly rotated to prevent betrayal. The budget for his protection is staggering for a nation at war. Ukraine spends tens of millions annually, much of it funded by Western allies, to keep him alive. Yet in a country where civilians face blackouts, displacement, and shortages, Zelenskyy's security is both a shield and a mirror of Ukraine's struggle. Survival at any cost. Ursula von der Leyen, the algorithmic guardian of Brussels. She doesn't just preside over the European Union. Ursula von der Leyen represents the fortress of Europe itself. Her security is not only physical, but algorithmic, technological, and deeply political. Imagine the Berlaymont building in Brussels, glass towers shimmering in the sun. Inside, every hallway, elevator, and conference room is a secure zone. Von der Leyen's office sits within a floor, protected by biometric scanners, armed guards, and communication jammers. She moves with the protection of the European External Action Service, supported by Belgian state security, a network that rivals national presidential details. Her convoy through Brussels or Strasbourg is a carefully choreographed ballet of armored BMWs and Mercedes, escorted by police motorcycles and counter-sniper teams. At international summits, her security merges with NATO and local forces, turning entire city districts into restricted zones. Even the skies are monitored. Drones and fighter jets stand ready to intercept threats. But her most unique defense is digital. As head of the EU, Ursula is a target not only for physical threats, but cyber warfare. Every device she uses is triple encrypted. Her communications routed through military-grade servers, and her team includes cyber specialists who monitor for hacking attempts 24/7. It's said that her schedule is adjusted daily based on real-time AI threat assessments, an invisible algorithm deciding whether she boards a plane, delays a speech, or avoids a public walk. Her security budget, spread across EU institutions, is estimated at over 20 million euros annually. A figure rarely publicized. For critics, it's a contradiction. The EU calls for transparency, Yet its leader moves in shadows guarded by algorithms, code, and secrecy. Von der Leyen's security is less about survival and more about continuity. She isn't just Ursula. She is the face of a union representing 500 million people. Protecting her is not protecting a person. It's protecting the idea of Europe itself. From Macron's armored convoys in Paris to Meloni's fortified palaces in Rome, Zelensky's shifting bunkers in Kyiv, and Ursula's algorithmic shields in Brussels, Europe's leaders live in fortresses of flesh, steel, and data. Power here is not only a crown or an office, it's an invisible prison built from paranoia and protection. So we ask you, which of these leaders' security shocked you the most? If this glimpse into hidden power made you question who's really in control, don't just scroll away. Hit like, subscribe, and ring that bell for more secrets behind the spotlight.